What is going on? We back for another episode. I'm Javier. This is Danny.
What is up?
Yo, we're back in the New York groove.
Hyped. What a weekend.
What a weekend. It was fun.
It was fun. What was the last time we had fun at an NYCFC game?
It's been a while.
It's been a while.
Wow.
It's been a while.
I will say, and we'll talk about this later. NYCFC 2, fun as hell, bro.
That was fun. But that's what it made me think of. Like, when you were at the game and watching the highlights and watching just the play, it was like, oh, yeah, when you're an offensive team, wow, that's fun.
Yes.
That is fun. Like, a win is a win, but a fun win is on another, like, stratosphere.
Yes, very fun. I'm not going to be negative, but I want to be a little negative. It was against the worst team on the East. But it was still fun. We won a game. We had a good time. Where's all this? And now, like, no noise was being made, and now my computer wants to go off. Everything wants to go off.
Your computer's having fun, too. It wants to be part of the conversation.
Yo, Wednesday mornings be popping in my house. Did you notice I turned off the heat? It's spring, too.
This is what it is with the heat off?
Yeah,
you
bro.
got a hot house, bro, because I'm burning up right now.
I'm a bad landlord. Once it hits April 1st, nope, heat is off. That's how those landlords be. It'd be like still 40 degrees.
I just like to point out he has no tenants, so he's just a bad landlord to his family.
Yo, my dog has fur. She's chilling, all right? So, good weekend. First, we should touch on more stadium news.
Like,
yes. Official. Like, this is happening.
Official. My understanding is this is the last of the votes. Chris Campbell has been telling us to vote. They had to vote for how many hot dogs they're going to have. They got to vote how many shovels they need to shovel the ground. The U-Lurp, the C-Lurp, the Lurp. Hey, yo. There was just so many Lurps out there. But I think this was the last one because the news outlets were out there saying it's official. Stadium's coming. No stopping us now. I also heard there was an agreement with the parking lot thing. They went to the Citi Field owner. What's that dude's name? Steve Ballmer?
No, Cohen.
Cohen. Yeah.
What you thought his name was?
I thought it was the guy who owned the Clippers.
No, I don't know why you thought that. Isn't that guy racist?
I think they're both No, he had to sell. The Racers had to sell the team.
Oh, okay.
Gave it to the Microsoft guy.
Oh, okay.
Who's the guy?
I'm not gonna know this. Just end this conversation right now. I don't like where it's going. I didn't like where it was going from the get. We're here talking about stadium, and you want to talk about the Clippers owner? Priorities,
Point is, unlike the Clippers, we got a stadium. Hey, I think they share with the Lakers, no? They're like renting. It's like the Jets and Giants. One of them don't got a real stadium.
Yes, you're right.
They got a co-op over there.
We got a stadium. It was voted 40-1. There's one guy.
One?
Sneaky guy.
Probably a Red Bulls fan.
He's like, they will not be the first New York team to actually build in the 5 boroughs.
They wrong.
There's a lot of exciting, there's like a Brooklyn project happening too. Soccer's blowing up out here, man.
That women's Brooklyn team, the Brooklyn USL team, is also getting like a women's team.
Oh, they're getting a women's team.
That thing looks fire, man.
We're gonna go support the women's team.
I need NYCFC to come up with a women's team.
Oh, talking about USL.
Maybe. I just came up with this crazy theory.
What?
They're keeping Cushing. So then, when they have the women's team, they can bring him over. It makes perfect sense.
That's actually pretty funny. I like it.
Yeah. We love you, Cushing.
Cushing just got us a W.
A W. Man, you know what? I was just thinking, like, Cushing's the same person in the press conference, pretty much at every press conference, right? But when you get a loss, you're like, stop with the charm. Stop trying to
be camaraderie. Like, our team is all together. We hate it.
We're working through the process. And he does the same thing after a win. And I'm like, man, this guy's so charismatic. Man, you just gotta look out for him. God.
But I mean, he did have a good point after this press conference. He was like, look, everybody wants to, it's like the social media world, and we talk about this all the time. It's like, you're either the best team in the world or you're the worst team in the world. There is no middle ground, and technically there is some middle ground there, right? Like, there should be some conversation of like, yeah, we had an off game. Granted, we've been having an off season, so we can be a little more doom and negative.
Yeah.
But there does have to be a balance sometimes when you win versus when you lose.
No, I felt like I was church on a Sunday. You know, when you're really feeling the message and like, yeah. Amen. Amen. That's how I was feeling a little bit when he was like, you a sucker,
bro.
Yeah, I am a sucker, bro.
He got you.
Bro,
quick.
I can't walk into a car dealership because then I'm leaving with the car. A jalopy too, bro. I just get convinced all the time, and that's how I felt about that press conference. He was just like, they're like, is this the turnaround? And he's like, we got to be a little more, what's the word I'm looking for? Even keel about it. And he's like, but everyone wants a win now. We're the greatest player. You suck. And he's like, and there's a lot of nuance there, and it's a long journey. And I think the problem is he says, everyone wants instant gratification. Well, this doesn't happen instantly. But I think, the naysayers say, hey, this isn't instant. You've been the coach for 2 years. Yeah. But I still think...
Sorry.
Yeah, it's okay.
It's okay. They set expectations.
For the season. We are only a quarter into the season. So we still can meet those expectations, but I agree. I think the problem too is just that, once again, it's so hard to not consider what happened in the past because it felt redundant. And you know what? We might end up feeling the same way again after next week because we did beat the worst team in the league. So you have to take this one with a grain of salt. But I do get that it's a process. And we said it last week, even before, or 2 weeks ago, before we even got the W, was... in the macro, it feels like a huge, terrible season. But in the micro, we're actually not doing that. But remember, what was Scott Churchison's thing he kept spilling all night? Like, you secretly have 8 points in 10 games or something like that. I don't remember what it was. He kept rattling a stat.
No, I don't know.
I don't know. Okay, whatever. Edit this out. We're not going to edit nothing.
Oh, excuse me. All right.
Point is, we're getting a stadium. Be hyped.
Yeah, we're getting a stadium.
Happening. We really derailed. We went straight into Cushing all over again. It sucks us back into the conversation. But we're getting a stadium. It's official.
It's official tissue. It's exciting.
But then what is Chris Campbell going to do now?
Yeah, that's going to be tough.
Chris, I need updates. I don't know what else you can give us an update on, but I want those updates. Every time a construction worker I want his name. They should be like a documentary of building the stadium. I want to know all the constructors' names. I want to see them eating a sandwich during lunch, talk about how his dad was a construction worker. His dad's dad was a construction worker.
Oh, you know what? This gets to another conversation. We're never going to talk about this game. Wrexham. A lot of talk about Wrexham. They got promoted again. But there's been talk about how Wrexham is doing so much more for the U.S. people watching soccer than MLS. What is that? Does that trigger anything in you? It gets me a little upset.
Yes, but I don't think I don't know why it needs to be I think MLS is not doing a great job advertising MLS, and I think Apple TV also doesn't seem to care. These guys have the marketing experts, and all I see is Messi everywhere, and that's it. Yeah. And so I don't think Apple or the MLS does a great job at advertising itself. I think this show has, and I think the reason this show has done such a good job, it's because it's gotten into a personal level. Just saying, hey, here's soccer isn't enough. You have to make stars. You have to make main characters, and us as MLS fans already have main characters. Yeah. But if you're new to MLS soccer, you do not have main characters. And I don't even watch Wrexham that much. I've seen a few episodes. I kind of saw most of the first season. And Ryan Reynolds is a main character, you know what I mean? Even in that documentary. And the striker, I forget his name, which I'm doing a terrible job, but he had main character vibes, you know what I mean? You got to make characters, man. Yeah, you got to make storylines.
Exactly. And I think that's one thing, if we made storylines behind NYCFC, we have flashy guys. We look at Talis Magno. Imagine following Talis Magno around with his 7 chains, his spy outfits. That's a character you want to develop behind. I get it. Talis Magno's not having a great season. But, didn't have a great last season. But that's what I'm saying. Building around these characters and really getting to know them and seeing them outside of the field. Flashy. Yeah. Cocky. I want to see all that. Yeah. A bad guy. Make a bad guy. Do we have a bad guy on our team? That other MLS teams are I hate that guy. Yeah. And I want to play against him. But he feels like New York. You know what I mean? So if we could build... But the thing is, we had an NYCFC documentary when this team started. And it was really good, but did it necessarily build the fan base? That's another thing. It's like, I don't know. Is it just because there's two Hollywood superstars who bought a soccer team? And does that build the allure behind it? Because really, if it was just a regular owner, I don't think it would have blown up the way it did.
Yeah.
So, I don't know.
But I also think this gives kind of like a... Sorry.
No, go.
I said I also kind of feel like it gives a... more of a conversation versus pro versus relegation, because I just feel like it feels so cool to see a team that like is in these outskirts of a league slowly making it to the top.
But
it's
I don't
like,
think
imagine
that's
if you
the
had
reason
something
you like
like
it that much. It did give you an end goal, but if your end goal was to win a championship, that would still feel cool, right?
I don't think. I think if they would have bought like a team like Fulham, who's already in the Premier League but hasn't won in forever, I wouldn't give a shit.
That's a storyline. What are you talking about?
But it's not the same. It doesn't have the same impact, in my opinion. Americans buy Premier League teams. LeBron James is like a 10% owner of Manchester City.
Another thing, the only reason that kind of all worked out too is because they spent loads of money into that team. So yeah, you got promoted, but it's because you became one of the most expensive teams. So you spent the most money on your league. So that goes to the thing. Then, do you not want parity in the league? Because that's what MLS has.
MLS does have parity, yes.
So I don't know.
This is my thought. We make a Wrexham here in the States. You know that Mexican restaurant team that's making it deep?
Yeah, the burrito team.
The
in
burrito
the US
team.
Open Cup.
Yes. We make a brand new team from scratch, document it all, and the goal is to win the US Open Cup. Because I've learned that to get into the US Open Cup, you pretty much just need a soccer ball and play 8 games in some type of league. Bro, that burrito team, I looked it up. There's only like 4 teams in that league.
Oh,
but
wow.
as long as they play, and they're all in California, and as long as they've played 8 games in a season under like the official U.S. soccer rules, you're in the Open Cup.
Wow.
If you win it, and you go into the like the tournament you got to win.
Yes.
To get in the winning tournament or whatever. So let's do it, bro. We
All
start
right.
a soccer league, not a soccer league. Mini soccer league. All we need is the 5 boroughs each to have a team. We use Kickstarter, raise some money, make the team go, win the Open Cup, document it all.
Yo, that's
American
that's
Wrexham,
actually
we
fire,
out
bro.
there.
All right,
We
if you
out
want to
there.
join our team, which we can't pay you, we can't provide amenities, we can't give you even a soccer ball. Bring your own soccer ball. Say in the comments, I'm in.
We'll bring a Costco thing of Gatorade. That's all we can bring you.
Bro, we're gonna get like fines.
Did
for,
you
like,
see that Gatorade release water?
That is the dumbest thing ever. No, I did not see that.
They spent years, homie, advertising that they're better than water, and now they just released water.
Is it like sugared water?
No, it's water with more electrolytes.
I'm sold. They got me. Marketing, baby. All right, let's get into this game. All right, so let's look at the starting 11. This was the starting 11 to start. Freeze, O'Toole, Risa, Martins. Yeah, why am I saying that wrong? Elenich, Sands, Parks, Wolf, Rodriguez, Ojeda, and Bakrar. What was your thoughts when you saw the lineup?
I was thinking, man, I'm so happy to have Bakra out there. He's such a superstar.
All right, enough with the sarcasm.
I'm joking. I love Bakra. I was excited to see Ojeda for multiple reasons, but also I was like, come on, Cushing. Like my initial thought, honestly, was, why do we keep messing with the lineup? How do you build chemistry if you keep switching it up?
Yeah.
Did I get shut up at the end? Yes. But that was my original thought, and I still think that's going to be a theme for the season. You cannot have your team be in form if you keep changing your form. You know what I mean? Chemistry is a big part of this league, and you saw a lot of times in the beginning of this game, especially with Ojeda, who's like brand new, where he might have felt not know what to do. And so that was my initial thoughts. It all worked out at the end. But yeah.
You know what? Like, to counter that, yes, I do think we just need consistency in the line, but we just need our best players out there. I don't even care if you can't gel. This is what we brought Ojeda for. Just straight up raw talent. Straight up, I'm going to score on you, and I'm talented. And if we look at our 2 goals, I'm getting ahead of ourselves, but if we look at the 2 goals, they're from our most talented players. You get me? It's not like team chemistry. These guys gel well in the system. These guys press. Nah, these guys score goals, and that's what we need.
Yeah.
Ojeda and Julian. Well, yeah. Do they have great games, or do they have games where they kind of fall off? Yeah, it's not gelling. Yeah, they do. And Julian, that's why Julian didn't start this game, because Julian's kind of been getting lost in the sauce. But what does he go and do? He scores. Ojeda, he scores. We need scorers out there.
My man
so
said,
get your most talented guys out on the pitch. That's really what it is. Even if they're not going to press every game. I mean, it just seems like it's more effective regardless. You're going to have guys who are just going to naturally be good scorers.
Agreed. My man Julian said, if I'm going to get lost in the sauce, I'm making my own sauce. And he was saucy at the end there.
That was beautiful. The Ojeda goal was impressive too, man, because it was like a bounce off Hannes, go straight in. If we look at the stats, I mean, we dominated when it comes to expected goals. We were 2.34 versus their 0.40. We had 52 possession, which we've been talking about possession. Like, hey, we've been losing kind of the possession game. That's not like us, and we wanted this game. We had 17 total shots, 6 on target, and 2 big chances.
I do want to say, though, that this is a little misleading because I felt like a lot of this happened in the second half. The first half of the game was more of the same, honestly, right? I think we started the game strong, and we had multiple opportunities, but as usual, they didn't finish. And then at the same time, it just felt like we were still lost on where the ball should be. So I think when we looked at the stats,
the first half
it was one shot on target.
Yeah, I think it was one shot on target.
And I think it was a total of 6 shots. So the turnaround really came in the second half.
Mm-hmm. No,
what do you think caused the turnaround?
We scored a goal. I think when you score the goal, you kind of release the tension of like, okay, we finally got the lead. Let's go. And one thing we did this game, which we haven't done in previous games, is we didn't leave the foot off the pedal. Like, we kept hitting the gas. We were like, let's go. Let's try to score the second one. And credit to Nick Cushing, when you're up a goal, me personally, I would say, hey, let's get some defensive subs in there. Let's get some fresh legs. He went all offensive with his subs. Well, who did he? Let me see.
He took out Ojeda, and he took out Wolf. And he put in Malachi Jones, and he put in Julian Fernandez.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And that was this first substitution. But also, I think I asked you that question. What do you think turned it around?
But you have an answer.
But I also wanted to get my answer there, which, and we were talking to Trey about this, is after that first goal, then what happens? The other team, the Revs, need to now score or they're going to lose the game. So they're not dropping so far back, right? They need to score a point now. So I think it's just like shows how important it is to score first. Because then look at all those opportunities that were made after that. And it's because they can't just play defense anymore. They also have to play offense. And you saw what was happening in the first half was we were putting all our players up offensively, even Parks and Sands. So then they were waiting to counter, and they had multiple opportunities, and Freese saved our ass multiple times in that first half. But the second half, you don't have the patience to counter anymore. You need to get the ball, and you need to score because you're running out of time. So scoring that first goal makes a huge difference because it opens up the spacing, and then you have the opportunity for Malachi Jones and Julian Fernandez and Santi to get really a lot of space to make something happen. So it just shows like it's so important to get that first goal as soon as quickly as possible because it changes the whole game plan.
Yeah. And I guess one of the things, even I said it in the first half when I was getting concerned, like, we bring so much offensive. We put everybody. We bring our backs. We bring our forwards. Everybody's going there. And we haven't been getting the goals we need for that. So then we get countered, and they're dangerous opportunities for the opposing team.
Yes.
And Matse's been saving our asses.
Yes.
But it's like die by that offense, and then when you get countered, you're like hoping Matt saves it.
Yes.
Which he's been doing tremendous. But we need to finish those chances when we're going to bring everybody up, and we only have 2 in the back, 3 in the back. Because we've seen it. Thiago Martins is hustling back, and the ball gets over the top, and then they have a shot.
Yes.
So it's really like, if you don't finish those chances, it's really screwing up the game because now you have only 2 defenders back there, Risa and Martins, and a third guy who's just dragging behind trying to stop it.
Yes. And I think Martins is getting a lot of
a slack, but it's kind of the game plan.
It is the game plan, exactly. You only have 2-3 dudes back there because you're pushing everyone forward. So I think, next time people are watching the game, look at that. And that Morton has the speed to get back to stop some of those. He's not stopping all of them. Freeze is doing a lot of stops.
Speed. I would say like that boy's breathing hard to get back, but yeah, he's trying.
Yeah, so I appreciate Cushing's being super risky on offense, bringing everyone up, but still, man, the finishing needs to be there. I mean, I don't want to keep repeating that, but I think it's a big thing, and I think if we can find a way to score or go earlier in the game, we could play more fun soccer. Because that's what I think what made the second half so fun was not just the Ojeda goal, but just everything after the Ojeda goal. It just seemed like we kept looking deadly because we had more space.
Yeah.
So
Mounsef. It's still the talking point. It's still the talking point. But you said we got to finish our chances, and he still hasn't finished one yet.
Are you ready to give up on Mounsef?
No, I'm not ready to, because he does everything else right, and we've talked about him plenty of times, so I don't even want to mention it again. But he does everything else, and he's putting himself in very good spots. But he needs to finish those chances. And I don't know if you saw, Jovan earlier today, he was getting on a plane. I'm pretty sure it's to New York.
Ooh.
So Jovan might be coming back. So the leash is going to be a little shorter if you got Jovan. And Nick Cushing's already said, like, Jovan's been knocking at his door, like, look, I got to get some playing time. So
he's like, I didn't get paid $7 million to hang out on the bench, homie.
Seriously.
Get me in there.
Well,
but also, okay, yeah, let's show the clip first.
I want to talk about Mounsef. So this is what Cushing had to say about Mounsef.
I fully believe and I fully expect Mounsef to score a goal next week. But I did this week. I spend my Sunday when my wife says, shall we go for a walk or should we take the kids to the park? I say, no, it's all right. I have to give Sunday to Mounsef because I got to find a solution for him. And
he takes his... He said, no, wifey, I got to go chill with Mounsef at Panera Bread.
I like to say if I was his wifey, I'd be so pissed. I'd be like, what are you really doing on Sundays? Because my man hasn't scored in 8 games. Don't stop lying to me that you're hanging out with Mounsef.
I wanted to play a little game. What would you do for Mounsef to score? So it's Christmas morning. Mounsef calls you. He's like, yo, I really just need to have a conversation so I can start scoring goal. The kids are ready to open the presents. Are you going to go see Mounsef? Or are you gonna stay with the kids and open the presents?
On Christmas Day?
Christmas morning, bro. They're excited to open the presents.
I don't want to mess up your whole scenario, but it's the off season. Call me tomorrow.
Go with the damn thing.
I'm not talking to Mounsef.
Wow.
Work-life balance.
What if it ends up he wins Golden Boot if you have this conversation with them?
How long is the conversation?
You're there for 2 hours, bro. He really needs you back.
Nah. I'll play Jovan.
Okay. New scenario. It's New Year's Day, 11 p.m. You're with wifey. You guys are getting ready, having a couple drinks before the ball drops. Mounsef calls. You know he's out in Jersey because everybody lives in Jersey. You go talk to him. He's gonna win Golden Boot if you go talk to him, but you're gonna miss the ball drop with wifey.
That's all right. I'll go hang out with Mounsef. Wifey's got next year. The kids aren't good. The kids are sleeping anyways, so they're not gonna be traumatized that dad chose work over them. I'm okay. Wifey will survive. We'll do New Year's January 2nd, like how we do Valentine's Day a week later, so we don't gotta pay for the expensive dinner.
Yo, those flowers be ridiculous, bro.
Ridiculous, homie. But the next week, 90% off flowers, homie. That's what you do. The teddy bear there's 3 of them left in Rite Aid's on the corner. $1.
Yeah, 80% off right there.
That chocolate's gonna get old real quick.
All right, I'm done with scenarios for Mounsef.
Point is, but all encompassing, like, I really like Mounsef, man. I'm not sold on Jovan. I mean, I know we've only seen a little bit of him, but I just feel like Mounsef is just doing so much of everything well except for scoring. I haven't given up on homie. I really believe that when he scores, you know what, the only thing I don't like though, the reference to Tati over and over again. He's not Tati, homie. Like,
he sees him as Tati, and he talked about his expected goals, like he was in the top 5 of expected goals, and he compares him to Suarez, which is a little crazy. He compares him to Yakanamis. So he sees that, and to a certain extent, I can see why he sees it. I mean, he is in the top. Well, I think he was. I don't think he is now, but he was in the top 5 in expected goals.
Yeah.
So it really is just about finishing those chances because he's putting himself in great positions.
I think if this continues at the end of the season, we should give him the expected golden boot. It's an IOU that we just pass over.
That'd be
you should have won it, homie.
He should have. I wanted to talk about, so Micha got the start over Tavon, and Tavon had a great game the prior week. Oh, I guess what's your take on that? It's hard because I like Micha, I like Tavon. Tavon's more defensive minded, and I think he wants Micha to be more offensive. He wants an offensive right back basically to go and push forward.
Yeah.
But Tavon showed last week he had the kind of nuance and savviness to get the ball in. He started playing better. He had better crosses. So are you completely sold on Micha taking over the job?
No, I think Micha had a better game defensively this week, and he talked about it, how he had a better game defensively, and it was nice to see him be less of a defensive liability. But I think with a type of play that I'm sorry about the sneeze, a bit of the type of play that we want to play, where we are pushing everyone up, I just think having Gray as a third option on defense is much better than any other. Sorry.
That sneeze took a while, bro.
Sorry,
you were 10 minutes into this conversation.
Point is, I like Gray. I want to see more of Gray. I think Micha is fantastic, but I think when the counter comes strong, and I want Gray back there stopping goals. Freeze maybe continues a super hot streak, but it's just a lot of pressure on him, man. And I think Gray plays that position really well as like that third defensive key person, and I want to see more of him.
I liked Micha though. I'm not gonna lie. When he went, and this is kind of Thiago Martin's job, when he went and hyped out the crowd, like, yeah, that's what you want to see. And he was like, after the game, he's like, yo, I was getting tired, and I did it, and I did not expect him to react like that. Like, it was such a good reaction from the fans. I don't know. I'm starting to like this kid. He's humble. He's fast. He's all over. I like Micha, and I'm hoping to see. I think he keeps it for a while. I think there's going to be a lot. I mean, we need rotation in the defensive back anyways.
Yeah.
So, I mean, in the defensive position. So, I don't know.
You know why? It's because your favorite player was Tinnerholm. You hope Meacher's the next Tinnerholm.
I really
see
do,
it. He could grow into it, honestly.
That's a stretch right now.
He's really young.
Yeah, but
I said grow into it.
How many? So 2027 new stadium. Meacher's the new Tinnerholm.
Yeah, superstar Micha.
I like that.
I like Gray though, man, and I think just not only just Gray on the field and what he brings defensively, and I think he can improve defensively. It's also a bias towards him being from the Bronx, and he's like one of our only black players, and I think he brings a lot of swag to the team. I also like his post-game conferences. He's mad real, which it's weird to ask a player questions if they didn't touch the pitch. Yeah. So it's like I like that great person. Although Meech's got a great personality too, man.
Yeah, Meech is cool too. He's humble. I like him.
They're cool.
Matt Freese first clean sheet.
It's so long, bro. Call this man a library book because that clean sheet was long overdue.
You were thinking of that for a while.
I thought about it as soon as that game ended, bro. I was like, what a long overdue clean sheet. I don't know if that joke made sense, honestly, but
it took me a while. I kind of get it, the overdue library book, but it was a tough one. I'm not gonna lie. If anybody was just listening and just passively listening while they do more important stuff with their life, they're probably like, "What the hell did that even mean?" They probably stopped the podcast at that point.
We lost 90% of our listeners after that joke.
They made it 30 minutes into this episode.
He was such a beast. He saved multiple goals in that first half, and in the second half, that game almost ended in a draw on that 90th minute. The cross into the box, which was beautiful. The header from Carlos Hill, which was beautiful, and he just had the reflexes to bounce that out of the net. Oh, perfect. Freeze is a superstar, and I'm scared we're going to lose Freeze sooner than later because I think he's so good.
Nah, they won't let him go. I mean, we had Sean Johnson for quite a long time. So, and Matt Freese is how old? I think he's fairly young.
I'm thinking, I'm scared Europe's going to take him.
Nah, it better not. I'll lose it.
Yeah.
So Matt Freese, yeah, clean sheet. And yeah, I think one of the things, just to reiterate, is that Matt Freese saving all those shots early and making it that we get the lead first, and then giving us the opportunity to even go 2-0 because of those saves is huge, man. Like,
agreed.
That's what we need. It's really big. I wanted to talk about one thing that you won a lot of money on, and there's no. You said there's no rhyme or reason to your bet, but let's see your bet. So your bet was. It was a same game parlay, and I know some people aren't betting people, but this was crazy. You put that they were going to win 2-0, and Ojeda was going to be the first goal scorer, and you bet $10 and won $691.
Woo! What a bet! I was hyped. You're supposed to stay composed in the press box, and I'm usually very good at staying composed, but the entire last 20 minutes of the game, bro, I was holding on to Javi. I was holding on to Trey. I was freaking out waiting for that second goal. And we had multiple. When Malachi Jones missed that goal right outside the box.
What was your take on Malachi Jones? First time in Yankee Stadium.
What a goddamn superstar.
I think we were hoping for that because we've been hyping it up. We want him to succeed. It was so. He just needed to imagine he got his first goal there. That would have been beautiful.
That would have been so cool. But then if it would have been 3-0, I would have lost that parlay. So
thank you, Malik. He did it for you, bro. He didn't do it for himself. He's like, you know what? I'm gonna score more goals in my career. Danny's never gonna earn $691 on a bet.
But I thought he looked so good offensively.
Oh, and he got some fouls that weren't even fouls. He was just physical with some of these bigger guys.
Yes. I still think he needs some work on the defensive end, but I thought offensively he brought a spark, and he's just fast. And that's some type of that's a dimension we don't typically have on this team, is speed. So seeing Ojeda and him come in and seeing that we could be dangerous with pace too, it got me excited. And
position. But one thing he needs to work is on his position.
Yes.
Yeah, yes. I think he was getting a little lost on the positioning, but that'll come with time. And playing with the first team.
Exactly. But that bet was huge, guys. And my thought was, I thought Freese deserved the clean sheet. It was long overdue. It was the worst team in the league. So if there's one time you're probably not going to score, it's going to be against them. So that was my thought between the 0, and I just thought at Yankee Stadium, it was a reach for the 2-0, honestly. but I was just hoping for the best. And Augustino Ojeda, I hyped him up in the beginning of the season. I said, when this guy joins the starting squad, I think he's going to be a monster. The risk was low at $10, so yeah. I was like, man, I want to be so right on this guy. Maybe if I bet on him, he'll play better. He has no idea this bet's happening, but I believe in magic. I watched a lot of Disney growing up. So I put it in, and it worked out. On fire this year with the bets.
You're on fire. That paid for your season tickets.
Yeah, I actually just got the email this week about the season tickets. Paid for my season ticket. Didn't pay for your season ticket.
I don't want to talk about that. I still owe you some money.
My man hasn't paid for season tickets in 3 years.
It's on your tab, bro. All right, let's move on. Big bet, big win. And we move on to DC United in Citi Field. So what do we know about DC United? They're 10th place, but they're actually a better team than their record. They've had a lot of away games. They have 2 wins, 4 draws, 2 losses. They've been on the road 4 times this season, and they drew all 4 times.
Oh, wow. So
that's an interesting one. Their main striker, we all know, Christian Benteke. He's a 6'3", massive giant. He has 6 goals. He's leading the league. He's in the Golden Boot right there. He's tied with other 6 goal people.
Is this right? Expected goals of 7?
7.03, bro.
Oh my god.
Yeah, he leads the league with the expected goals, I'm pretty sure. He's a beast, bro. And we're playing against Troy Lasagna? I forget his name.
Lasagna. I think it's Lesney,
bro.
We can't pronounce nobody's name.
We can't. Even when we have the typing in front of us. They'll pronounce it, and I still won't know how to say it. Former Red Bull head coach is my whole point to this.
Yeah.
So
from last year.
You know they're going to press.
Yeah.
You know they're going to play tight. And honestly, even though they're 10th place, they're a much more dangerous team. Like, if you looked at their overall expected goals, they're second in the league, so right behind Los Angeles. Big chances missed, they're fourth in the league. And you know who's second? NYCFC. A lot of missed big chances. And then, like, if we look at, like, just statistically,
all 18 of those big chances was Mounsef.
You're right about that. If we looked at, like, if they would have made those goals they converted, their expected points, they would have been like third in the league right now. So they're not like this scrum team that we're just going to easily beat. I think it's going to be a tough one, and this is going to be a true test if we are really as good as we say we are.
And Benteke is an aerial monster.
Oh yeah, I think he leads the league in aerial duels.
Do they? Does he?
Yeah, either he's first or second.
And we can make a movie called NYCFC Can't Jump. Since Santi left, no one has hops, bro. You see Mounsef? You guys could find a clip of every game of Mounsef going, and then just like not get. Ow, I hurt my neck, dude.
Yeah, stop talking smack about Mounsef, you old man. And
But
you don't know, but we
Mounsef
also had
has no
Chanot. Chanot would finish a lot of our chances
yes.
back in the day.
Yes, he had hops too.
By the way, Chanot made his LAFC debut off the bench.
Did he do well?
I didn't watch the game. You can't watch any other games other than the team you want to see because Apple TV's dumb.
Guys, yeah, change the time thing, please. I want to watch other games. This is killing me,
bro. I don't know how anybody else watches like any other league. I have to watch the highlights and then to get to the wrap-up show, bro. that in itself is hard enough. I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna go watch something else, bro. I can't find this wrap-up show.
Apple, you struggling, homie?
They're struggling hard, bro. It sucks because they bring such good quality.
Yeah,
but then they also just suck at like making the games more spaced out, making things easy to find on their app. It's just a little annoying.
I feel it feels like Apple TV in general. Like, you know any TV shows now that Ted Lasso's over?
Oh, Apple
on Apple TV?
They actually, I think they're starting to get better with that.
I've never gotten one ad for an Apple TV show.
Oh wow.
I don't know nothing. I mean, also yeah.
But season pass is different from Apple TV. You know that, right?
But what I'm saying is like it feels like Apple's like, okay, like cool,
like
as a hobby we'll have a sports team.
This is what happens when you have too much money.
Exactly. It's like they're not putting the love that I think we expected them to put into it.
That's true.
I want to be able to look at my phone and they go, "Oh, you're an MLS fan? Bam! Here's the game you want to write.
Seriously,
you want to watch."
It's so annoying.
Yeah.
Expected starting 11. I'm going with the same 11 to be honest. I don't think we should change anything. What do you think we should change?
I don't know if we should change anything, but it's Cushing. You really think that's gonna be the expected starting 11? Ojeda's not gonna see the pitch for 6 more weeks. And honestly, no. And I don't really get the love for Wolf, honestly.
What?
I just
now
don't
you're
get it,
bro.
I think he's great at like. I don't get it. I don't get it.
He's doing wow. What are you talking about? He presses well. He's all over the pitch. Most of our dangerous opportunities start somewhat with Hannes, Wolf, and Santi combining with something. You can't. I get. And one thing I will say though is he hasn't scored.
He hasn't.
Which he should have scored already by now.
He should have.
So I know we look at Mounsef as the guy because he's our number 9, but I mean our wingers could score too. I mean we put Martinez out there for one game and he scored.
Yeah.
So I could say that, but everything else he does pretty. What was his FOTMOB rating was 7.2. He had a solid game last game, bro.
Yeah, but I just think he brings a lot in the press, which helps us make opportunities. But I don't know if I see that much more except
so then who
press.
do you put instead of Hannes Wolf, which is dumb, but who do you put?
I mean, I would play Julian Fernandez. Julian and Ojeda, I think those are great wings, and I think they bring a lot offensively. And Santi at the 10.
The one thing I'll say is I like Julian because he's just a scorer. He will find a way to score.
Yes.
But Hannes just brings so much, and he brings that. If we're gonna press anyways, right, and we know we're not gonna get a great press out of Julian or Ojeda. Ojeda didn't really press. I think Santi was complaining all game, like, yo, guys, we gotta press, get.
Yeah.
And Santi was the only one all over with
Yeah.
Bakrar. But I think if we're gonna press and then these guys aren't gonna go with it, that's a problem, right?
Yeah. Exactly.
So then, but So then you're saying that we should go with what I'm saying.
Or don't press and just have Julian Ojeda out there doing their thing.
Well, our whole game plan is to press, so that's not going to...
I feel like they've been moving a little far away from the press a little bit.
Nah.
They're not pressing as hard.
We're still
you know who I also really want to see? Pereira. Give my man Pereira some minutes. We need some Colombian fans. We need some Buñuelos out there on the pitch, man. And I get it. I get Sands and Parks have played together for a really long time. They're really good. But if you're going to start them, can Pereira just get more minutes? Can we see 30, 35 minutes out of Pereira? I mean, Parks looked exhausted in that game. And Parks walks a lot. I mean, he still brings a lot offensively.
Bro, he was one of player of the match.
I know he was player of the... I mean, no, I'm not saying he's
Ojeda.
good.
Wait, was it Ojeda? No, it was
Freeze.
Oh, it was Freeze. It was Freeze? Oh, yes, it was Freeze.
It was Freeze. But I want to see more Pereira out there, man. So I would say don't put Pereira in the lineup. Maybe. I don't know.
I mean, I'm not opposed to Pereira being in there, but...
Can we get a little bit more Pereira?
Well, get subs in early for that position, right? Because if they're tired, you can sub in and you have... It's not like one is lacking talent.
Yes.
Like, you could rotate those 3 guys and they're still all very talented.
Yes,
but
exactly.
To James Sands' credit, James Sands has been stopping all these guys. We've been... Like, Hill was ghost. Almada wasn't that explosive against... Like, he's been doing a great job.
No, James Sands defensively has been great. My man...
And James Sands is never leaving the lineup. Just Cushing even said it. He's like... There's, like, guys that are, like, not getting out of the lineup.
He did say that. He said Sands is already written in the lineup.
He's basically penciled in.
Exactly.
Every game.
He prints out the lineup, and the only name that's already on it was Sands.
Yeah.
Which I get. I mean, he's just been so great defensively. My man can learn how to pass the ball sometimes. That'd be nice. But in general, he's fantastic. So, yeah, I think just on the lineup, I might want to see Julian. I'm not in love with Wolf. And I like Ojeda, so I like to see more of Ojeda. And I'm still on the Mounsef train, especially because I think Hovan hasn't had practice yet, and I just really believe that Mounsef could turn it around if he could just fucking hit. I mean,
if you can just go there Christmas morning, bro, change his whole season.
I love the kids.
All right, what's our betting line? So let's do our bets. Hold on, I lost my sheet.
I mean, we're not gonna count the $600 that I won because it wasn't on the show. And I can't give you a parlay because I don't know who who Cushing is gonna start. So I'm sorry, but maybe I'll put it up right before the game if I do another parlay, and you could follow along. But on the bets we've done on the show, still on fire. My last bet from 2 weeks ago was both teams to score, and that happened against Atlanta. And I won, so I'm up to 172. And you?
I'm struggling. I keep taking them to win. Don't take them to win. So I'm at 33%. I'm on my last $25. So this bet is very important to me.
This might be like Monopoly, where I give you some money just to stay in the game.
Yo, at this point, I'm never going to pay for my season ticket. All right, so if we look at the line now, we have plus 115 for NYCFC to win, which is surprising. We're plus money. Okay. Draw plus 245. DC United plus 200. Under 2.5 plus 105. And both teams to score minus 160. What are you taking?
Interesting. So my initial thought was I want to take both teams to score at negative 160. But do I see both teams to score and get 2 goals? I don't know.
Wait, so you don't see...
What I'm saying is the 2.5, because it's at plus 105, looks more enticing than going with both teams to score. But I'm going to be conservative because I'm going to wait till I hit the $200 mark before I start being reckless. So I'm going to go $25 on both teams to score again. I'm just not sure if I'm ready to give NYCFC wins just because they beat the Revs. So I got to see more NYCFC wins before I start betting that they're going to score a lot of points and that they're going to come out with a lot of clean sheets and they're going to get more W's. Even though it's at home, I'm still just going to go with both teams to score.
I honestly don't know what to do anymore. I'm going... Oh, gosh. I'm going under 2.5. I do think they're not going to score 3 goals. There's not going to be 3 goals this game. So I'm going under 2.5. DC United's going to press a lot, so I think it might be tough for us to get past their defensive line. I'm going under 2.5.
You know what? I'm gonna get reckless right now. I just thought about it. So
What?
you're 2.5 under 2.5.
Yeah.
Both teams to score, but I am gonna parlay it. Mounsef's gonna get his first goal.
Oh,
Anytime
you're on the Nick
score.
Cushing train. He said he's
I'm
gonna
on the-
score.
Exactly. He's not going on the park walks. He's not chilling with his kids. He's gonna make sure Mounsef scores.
All right, but we don't know the lines to that. I guess we'll talk about that next week once you actually hit it, because we don't know what the odds are.
That's true.
So
but
how
that
much
is
are
my
you taking?
$20.
All right, I'm taking 25 for the game to be under 2.5,
Okay.
and I might need a loan. Overall prediction. What do you think it's gonna be?
I'm gonna hope for a 2-1. Guess a 1-1.
I'm going 1-0. We win.
Okay.
We score a goal. It's a tough team, but we get a goal. We get past them. They don't score on a Matt Freese second clean sheet in a row.
I would love a Matt first clean sheet. Where do you think? Who do you think's gonna score for us?
I'm actually going to join you with the Mounsef. I think
Ooh.
Mounsef needs his opportunity. I think it's been coming. He's definitely getting the start. So I see Mounsef.
You know what they say, 9th time's a charm.
All right, so that's what we got. I wanted to mention Open Cup. We play today, Wednesday.
Yes.
We're recording this on Wednesday. Hartford Athletic.
You gonna make the trip?
Hell no. So NYCFC actually used to play its home games there, like in those early seasons where we weren't huge fans. But yeah, I'm excited to see them. I want to say Open Cup was so fun last week. Like I went last week and it was 2 weeks ago. It was so fun to watch them play, dude. They're just a fun team. You actually feel like it meant something to them.
Yeah.
Which was really cool. Like you could see the emotion behind the goals. I think they were just so happy. Like fans were out there. It was freezing cold last Open Cup game. So like to see them out there, we had Malachi Jones, Ojeda out there, and they were playing. They were giving it what they got. So it was a really fun game, and I really want to see this team succeed and win this Open Cup. It'll be so dope to see. So we'll see what happens, but I'm excited for it.
Do you know who they're playing?
They're playing Hartford Athletic.
Oh, I thought they were playing at Hartford.
They are against Hartford Athletic.
Okay, that makes sense. But also, yeah, I love seeing this. You know, it's funny. I think we were kind of both anti having the two teams in the Open Cup, but then seeing them be so happy about this win, kind of seeing the opportunity to see the young guys like playing a game that means a lot to not just them, but to us.
Yeah.
I think it's actually really cool, and I'm more sold on this idea of having more two teams play.
Yeah, it really did seem like it meant a lot to them. So I was opposed to it too, but it was so fun to watch them play. So go out there and support Hartford Athletic. I think it'll be dope.
Even though he's not going, he's gonna make you guys take the
I'm
drive.
not going all the way to Connecticut. Follow other podcasts who will be there, because you're definitely not going either.
I'm definitely. I have to work New Zealand hours tonight,
Bro, nobody cares. You in New Zealand, bro. Nobody's ever heard a New Yorker talk about New Zealand so much. All right, y'all.
All right, peace.
Come on,